Hi, folks. This video is really intended for people who are sort of at the beginning level of Empower, where you are just looking to keep track of learning targets in Empower, and you're not really at the level yet where you want to build units of study and put your resources on Empower. So if that's you and you are just like, okay, how do I keep track of my learning targets? There's a couple ways to do it. Uh, One way is to add these playlists. Now, I sent out an email way back at the beginning of the year. You could probably find it if you don't delete your deleted emails, or if you happen to have saved it. Otherwise, email me and I can send it to you again. But it has information about these playlists that the digital learning coaches created. They exist for all of the core subjects. And they are you just have to know who to search for. So for instance, if I wanted to add this third grade writing playlist, I'm going to go up here to the magnifying glass. I'm going to search for a playlist. I'm going to put in whoever was the author of that playlist. So for this one, it just happens to be Tara Robinson. So I'm going to find Tara's name, and all I have to do is type in grade, because they're essentially grade books, and you can search for it and it's going to pull it up. Now right here, I wanted this one, the third grade one. So I'm going to click assign, and I'm going to click to assign a copy, and then I'm going to choose the the class, sorry, that you want to put it in. So I've already done this. I'm not going to do it again. We'll just get back out here to the main page. And there it is. So what this is a shell. They've been created for you. So in third grade writing, there are 5 power standards for the year. And so what we've done is created a sub playlist for each of the power standards. If you click into that power standard, there's a big idea which tells you the learning targets for this power standard, and there's a fake assessment. Now, this is kind of just a dummy assessment. You could take this assessment and you could go into it. You could change the name of it and use it if you wanted to. That'd be one thing you could do. Like I could change this right here so that it says, I would probably want to keep that learning target there, but maybe I want to change this to short story. Okay. And then I could either keep all of the learning targets associated with this power standard, or maybe I thought that this assignment just covered one of them. So I could click on the X's to delete the ones that I don't want. Okay. So that is one way that you can do it. Then, so if I'm ready to score this learning target because we're done with this short story, I don't have to upload anything here. All I have to do is go into this 0 here, and all of the learning targets should be listed that I have associated with this assignment. And then I'm going to put in scores in the task column. Now, this is a task score. So if I want to actually make this the learning target score too, then what I want to do is I want to click on this update overall button. And that is actually going to put it in both places so that not only are they getting a task score, but they're also getting a learning target score at the same time. And it will fill that column also. A lot of people, there's a lot of different views about when to put in learning target scores, but even if you're going to come back and do another activity with this, it doesn't hurt for a kid to have a learning target score. Because that score could still go up or down based on the kids' work that they do. So really, it's just sort of a dipstick of where the student is at right now. So I'm going to delete these real quick just so that if you won't need to delete it, you can click the trash here and you can fill down. I would always start with the score that most students have, and then you can go in and type over the ones that are different than that original score. Okay. So that is one way to score learning targets. The second way to score learning targets is to go to the TVR. Now, there's a couple of it's called the teacher verification report. So if you hover over the grade or the class and you click over here, there's the TVR. Okay. This is one way to get to it. So if I click on it here, it's going to pop up. And then in the upper right hand corner, there's this little gray thing that says course grading spreadsheet. This has all of the learning targets for the course. Okay, so this is that writing course. Again, we know that in third grade there are 5 power standards, but there's a whole bunch of learning targets under each power standard. So I could actually just score learning targets right here. I could give, my whole class gets a BL, basic level, except for a couple of kids here who are at the meets level, and then I have one who's at the extends level. Okay, so that's another way that you can do it. This way you're just scoring learn target scores. There aren't any tasks associated with it, but it very much gets the job done, and gives people a lot of feedback. Now, people often wonder, how do you see those learning targets? I would recommend right now printing out your learning targets for the year for each class, maybe making a little binder, because that is easier than this method where you hover above the learning target, then you go to the learning target file cabinet, and then you go to the scoring guide, which gives you that scoring guide. I think it's much easier to just have a printed copy in front of you that you use when you score things. If you need help printing those are all on the Teaching and Learning website. They're in shared Google Drive, and I can show you how to get there if you need to. So there are several people out there who have had issues with the spinning wheel. When you click on this, nothing really happens. I want you to try a different way. So I want you to try going to Empower 3.0. And then this is going to be a little bit different look, but you're probably not used to the other look yet, so give it a try. And you want to go to scoring here, and then you're going to select a group. And so I'm going to, I don't want to make a group. I want to select a group here. So I'm going to select the group that I want, and then it should pop up here, and allow me to do some scoring right here. So give that a try and see if that works. Let me know if you have any questions. I know with conferences coming up, some of you are worried about this, but remember, just focus on the students and the work that you're doing in your classroom, getting to know your kids. Talk to you later.